it's Ashley and welcome back. Today I have an extra special fun Christmas card to share with you. This card is going to feature 3 different shaker elements in this slimline card. To start out, I've die cut out this room builder die, which is slimline, from some Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I also cut out the window on it where I wanted it to be as well. Next, I laid down some purple tape over that center little embossed portion of the cardstock because I don't want that colored. And then I just continued that tape onto this Make Art station. And I like to use this because then I can kind of adjust it and rotate it as I am painting it. So I'm going to be watercoloring this. If you were to buy these watercolors, they come with that little plastic that I just showed you right there, and I don't want to waste those, so I actually use those as my little holders for my watercolor. So on the bottom for the flooring, I'm going to be using this brown color here, and it's pretty concentrated, so I like to water it down a little bit. So I'm just putting some into my little well, and then I'm going to add some water to that to get it to the color that I want. So I've tested the color on a scratch paper piece of paper, and it's the color I want it to, so now I'm going to start laying it down. I'm using a flat brush. I brought out my round brush too, just in case, but I ended up just using my flat brush for watercoloring this whole slimline panel. I'm going to be adding a lot of stamped images and shaker elements to this card, so that's why I chose watercolor for the background, to be a little bit more muted, so that wasn't the focus. So I've gone ahead and heat set the floor on this just so it was dry, and now I'm going to work on the wall. I turned it upside down so you're not looking at this wrong. So next I'm coming in with this solar red color, and I'm going to do the same thing. Add a little bit into my well, and then I'm going to add a little bit of water too, and then I'm going to test it, and then I will paint it. If you haven't used Bristol Smooth cardstock for watercoloring, I would definitely give it a try. It's a very smooth, thick cardstock, so it won't pill up or anything like that, and it doesn't even warp that much. Another thing that I really like about it is just the smooth finish. When you're doing like the action of actually painting on it, it's really nice and smooth, and the color goes on evenly. So I really like working with this type of cardstock. So I've made sure everything was dry on the front and the back. I've heat set it, and now I can pull off my purple tape for the big reveal. So now I've gone ahead and colored everything, all of my stamped images previously, just because I knew that was going to take a long time and that wasn't the main focus of this video. To color all these images in, I've used some Spectrum Noir tri-blend markers, and I will link to those markers below so you can see what colors I used. The die for this oven cuts out the oven so you can open it, and I wanted to do that same thing on the refrigerator. The refrigerator, it does not do that, so I just came in with a craft knife, and I cut the top, the right side, and the bottom of both the doors and left that left side alone. Then I came in with my little scoring board, and I scored both of those doors so they would open just like the oven does. Both of these elements are going to be 2 of the 3 elements that are going to be shaker. So now you can see I'm just making sure that fold is there, and you can see how it's kind of coming together here. So I have those 2 shaker elements. And I've cut out some clear acetate too, so I'm ready to go for the backs of those. And I'm using some 1/4 inch like score tape. It's a strong adhesive to glue down or to adhere down my acetate. And I'm just using this because it's really nice and thin and fits perfectly around these little borders. I have found that using liquid adhesive for working with acetate is very messy. It tends to bleed onto the acetate and you kind of seep in from the paper. So I definitely like using a dry tape type adhesive when you're working with acetate. So now I have my refrigerator and my oven all done with acetate on them, and now I'm going to work on my final shaker element, which is our window. I'm going to go through the same steps as before, Now lay down some 1/4-inch tape and then lay down the acetate on top of that. And then I'm going to go in with this one and lay down my foam adhesive. So I've started laying some of that foam adhesive down right around the shaker element, and then I'm going to lay foam adhesive down on the rest of it, just so it's even when I'm laying it down on my card base. Once I'm done with that, I get to do the fun part of adding my shaker bits. Now the shaker bits that I'm going to put in the window are going to be different because I'm going to make that look like it's outside. But I'm going to add fun little shaker bits in the fridge and the oven. And those I'm just going to use a whole bunch of different kinds. I will list them below. They might not be back in the shop quite yet because of Trinity Stamp's move, but I will list the types that I'm using so you can check them out when they're back in stock. Next, I'm peeling off the backs of the foam adhesive and then going to stick my base on. For that base, all I did was die cut out a plain die of the fridge without the stamp on it, and it fits perfectly. This paper is kind of a shimmery one, so hopefully you see a little bit of shimmer in there when you're opening that, so you can see what it looks like there. And I've done the same thing with the oven as well. I'm going to wait to do my shaker element for the window until the end. I'm going to do my scene building first. So I'm going to adhere down my refrigerator on that left side of my slimline first, and then I'm going to adhere the oven to the right side. So those are kind of my two anchor points of my card, and then I'm going to build my scene within and on top of all of that. I'm not going to show the whole scene building on here since that's not the main focus of this video, and that would take another 20 minutes. A good tip that I like for scene building is to lay down everything where I think I want it without adhering it down. And once I get it where I want it, I'll take a picture with my phone, and then I'll start adhering everything down so I can reference that if anything moves around while I'm working on it. So now you can see my scene coming together here. It's a cute little Christmas cooking scene with the Bear family. So this cottage kitchen stamp set comes with a little set of hands, so you can make the bears look like they're holding something. So I'm doing that right now with the little mama bear holding this bowl in her hand. I just think that's really clever. Next, I'm going to work on our window shaker element. So I removed the adhesive for the foam because I'm going to be putting a little snowman on the corner so it looks like he's peeking out. So I'm going to be adding these sequins in first, and again I will try to link to everything so you can check it out. And there's my little snowman, so it looks like he's peeking in the window from outside. Then I'm going to lay my slimline card back down. Alright, and then here's our card. So we have our 3 shaker elements. Here our refrigerator can open and shake. And now our oven can open and shake, and then our window, of course. And here's an up-close look at what everything looks like when it's all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe to Trinity Stamp's YouTube page and our Facebook group, Imagination, Inspiration, and Conversation, for lots of crafty inspiration and fun. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday and stay safe. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.